Good morning, everyone. Welcome back after a short little break that we had. Okay. So today we'll be doing topic negotiation skills from unit number 3. Okay. I'll just switch on the presentation. Negotiation skills. Unit number 3, technical communication. Can we have the opening remarks, please? Don't remember who's supposed to give the opening remarks? Fine, no problem. Negotiation skills. Okay, that's the technical term that we have. What we more popularly know as bargaining. Okay, negotiation is a more technical term for what we commonly know as bargaining. Right? Remember, bargaining happens not only in case of money, it also happens with respect to other kind of facilities provided. For example, exchange facilities, extension of warranty period or guarantee period, and many more as per the purchase that you have made. Okay, so what is actually negotiation skills? Remember, bargaining happens at a very low level. By low level, I mean if you are purchasing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, 10 things, 12 things at the maximum. Now, when does negotiation take place? Negotiation takes place when things are a little of high level, right? Bulky in terms of an organization to an organization. Bargaining usually would happen between individuals, 2, 3, 4. Whereas negotiation would take place between two companies, two institutes, two organizations. Now, what is it that happens? It's actually, negotiation is actually a process in which two or more individuals or groups having common and conflicting goals state and discuss proposals for specific terms of a possible agreement. Let's say you want to do business with a university, you want to provide computers to a university, right? You want to provide computers to a university. So you don't directly draft an inquiry letter, then draft an order letter, confirm an order. There would be a set of terms and conditions. There would be a set of terms and conditions on which you will come to an agreement. Let's say we are continuously buying computers from you, from an organization, a university is buying. Now the university just does not only require the computer, it will also require a software. Right? Now, if you buy something from two separate parties, you have to pay two separate people. Instead, what you do is you collaborate. Collaborate that along with the computers, what kind of services will you give? Along with the computers, what things will you tell us? What kind of support will you give, etc. Now that's coming to a common agreement, right? It actually happens between companies, groups, or individuals. One has something the other wants and is willing to bargain to get it. Okay, bargain is a term that we use more commonly. More specific is we negotiate. Okay, the aim of a negotiation is to explore the situation to find a solution that is acceptable to both the parties, right? You have to come to a common agreement. Let's say the company says we'll give you only 2 years of free services, then we'll be charging. Now what the university will try to do, the university will try to pull or extend the period. Fine, 2 years you give free of cost, after that you don't give 500 per visit, you take only 250, 300. That's a small example which I'm giving. Now what is the meaning of negotiation skills? Remember, it's written negotiation skills. It's a skill. Okay, it's not an activity that you do, it's a skill that you have to acquire, right? It actually is a strategic discussion that happens between two parties. Here by parties we can mean two companies, two industries, one industry, one company, any kind of an organization, academic, non-academic, whatever. That's why we've written the word two parties. Find acceptable, right? They find it okay for both the sides. Now what do you do, or what actually happens is, not only one party but both the parties try to persuade each other, right? Remember, if you have gone shopping with your mother and father to the vegetable market, your mother will bargain. Let's say I want to buy 500 grams of a vegetable. The charges are a little different. When I say, okay, I want to buy 5 kgs, can you be a little reasonable? Your mother or your father or even you might have tried it at the vegetable shop. I'm taking an example of the vegetable shop because it's the most common place where we bargain. Okay, it's the most common place where we bargain, right? So the price that you pay for a vegetable for 500 grams would differ from the price that you pay for 5 kgs. The thing that you do is you negotiate. You will say, the person will say, okay, if you are buying 500 grams or 1 kg, I'll charge you 100 rupees. Or let's take a simpler example. I'll charge you 20 rupees. But if you are buying 5 kg, let me charge you 80 rupees. Then you will negotiate a little. Let's say you will say 75, not 80. I'll pay 75. Please pack 5 kg of it. Okay, that's negotiation where both the parties come to a common agreement. That's a very simple example that I have taken from our day-to-day life. Right? Similarly, do not think that organizations or companies will bargain for 5 rupees or 10 rupees. Remember, they're not going to buy something in 5 kg or 10 kg. They're going to buy it in bulks. Bulks means 100 pieces, 200, 500, 700, 1000, 10,000, etc. Right? So when they come to an agreement, they'll not be reducing the amount by 5 rupees. They'll be reducing, let's say 10%, 12%, 14% of reduction, something like that. They'll do it in percentage. Okay, or otherwise what they'll do is they'll do it per piece. Let's say you take our university setup. For each classroom, there are benches, tables, chairs, blackboards, projectors, which have been bought. Right? Now, when they are buying such stuff, they don't buy one projector. Right? What they'll do is they'll buy X number of projectors. So what they'll say, per projector, you reduce this much amount. Or on the total bill, you reduced this much percentage. Right? And the parties come to an agreement. If we say 15%, the other party says no, 12%, then 10% will say, okay, neither yours nor mine, let's take 12%. Okay, that way. So remember, you are not supposed to quarrel and argue when you are negotiating. You're trying to come to a conclusion which is beneficial to both the parties. Then what is the purpose? Here, the purpose is you do not just pay the amount which you are told. Right? At certain places, you don't negotiate. Let's say if it is the gold or the silver market, there is actually some regulations for gold and silver market. They have this regulatory boards. They already have a regulation whether they are taking huge prizes or small prizes, whatever they are doing. But there's a regulatory board and you do not feel cheated. There would be an ISI mark, etc., etc. Now, in certain services, you know that you might be paid or you might get the same service in little amount or little lesser amount. So you try to benefit from that situation. We try to negotiate to get quality services in prices that are affordable. And even for a bigger company, they have to think about affordable pricing. Now, what are the examples of negotiation? These are a few examples. You can keep a note, take a note of this few examples. Remember, this is a very important question from the exam point of view for a short note. Kindly take a note of a few examples. See, these are not all the examples, but these are a few that I have noted and you can take a note of it. I'm giving you 2-3 minutes of time to note it. I hope you have taken a note of it. If you can see, I have given some examples from everyday life and a few examples of organizations where things take place. So, whenever you are asked a question that where can negotiation take place, you are supposed to see to it that you have few examples from everyday life and few examples from workplace situation. Okay, I hope you have taken a note and please note this as an important question. Where does or where can we have negotiation taking place? Right? Mark it as an important question. So, types of negotiation. So, which are the types of negotiation that we have? There are two types of negotiation, one formal and informal. Remember, when we will be talking about negotiation, we are always going to talk about the formal portions, but we should know the other type as well. So, I'll begin with informal negotiation first. So, which is the informal negotiation?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, negotiation means it's type of bargaining, no?
yes, it is actually bargaining, but the
So,
tech,
yeah.
yeah.
So the examples that you had given, can you please show that examples?
Yes,
Ma'am, see the last example, choosing new location for office.
yes.
Ma'am, in that there is no negotiation.
Why don't
I
don't,
means
don't
that
yeah?
we will choose the best location for our office.
But you will have a budget for it, right? Do you pay the same price that has been told to you?
Ma'am, if
Let,
the
let me yeah, let me explain it. I know it's a little confusing here. See, when I say choosing a new location, let's take 150 feet ring road in Rajkot. Okay, there are very new offices being built there. There are many buildings being built there, right? I'm not talking about you going and selecting it. After you make a selection that I want it in a particular area, do you pay the same price which the builder quotes for you, or do you say that, can you give us some additional uh, benefits, can you reduce the price by some amount, or do you just pay it? See, when I mean negotiating, and when you are taking this particular example, last example, what I mean to say, what do you negotiate when you are choosing a new location? Let's say somebody tells me that the price of the new office is 325 square feet. Okay, and the price for that office is per square feet. Remember, when you buy a property, it would be per square feet. You have to pay according to the square feet. So let's say for 1 square feet, you are supposed to pay 6,000. Now you don't tell him that you reduce. If it's a 325 square feet, right? And you are paying 6,000 per square feet. So you'll approximately pay 19 lakhs for that office, 19-20 lakhs. Okay, it's a simple example that I'm trying to put. So will you say you reduce 1 lakh rupees? No. Usually when you buy the office location, what do you say? You will say, see, 6,000 rupees per square feet is too much. No, this area, it's not that developed. It's really out of my budget. So then the person will ask you, sir, what are you looking for? Then you will say, see, my budget is somewhere around 4,000 square feet. Then the person will try to negotiate and tell you, sir, very new office, you want ground floor, very much high. Can you go a little higher? Let's say if you take second, third floor, I might be able to reduce something. Then you say, what or how much amount will you be able to reduce? The person says, sir, because you are taking interest in our project, I may be able to reduce by 1,000. Then you'll say, see, even 5,000 per square feet is too much. Let's see if you can do it in 4.5. Right? That kind of negotiation happens when you are choosing a new location for your office. That's what I mean here when I quote this example. I hope I'm making myself clear. I hope this is clear. Like choosing a new office location, not supposed to negotiate with your family, but you negotiate with the person from whom you are going to purchase that office. Okay, and at times you also negotiate with your team. Okay, you want to buy it in a particular building, particular floor, particular area. Your team members or business partners do not wish to buy it in that area. So what do? So you cannot do business alone, right? Remember, as I said, it's a combination of people, combination of talents that comes together, and then a business runs, right? So even that could be a part of negotiation. Fine. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Clear.
Thank you for asking. That's great. You're paying good attention. Okay. So remember, these are a few examples that I have cited. You may cite any other examples of your choice. But what I mean to say is, when you cite examples, you should have a few examples from your everyday life and a few examples from the workplace scenario. Right? So that's how you do it. If you're writing 6 examples, 3 examples from everyday life, 3 examples from workplace scenario. So now what I was talking about was the 2 types of negotiations. So the 2 types are formal and informal. We're going to see formal negotiation in more detail. What is informal example of informal negotiation? It's the bargaining that you do at smaller shops and for personal usage. Let's say you are trying to buy yourself a dress and you bargain with the person. Let's say the dress is costing you 625. You'll say, give it in 550 or at least 10%. I'm your regular customer. This we do on regular basis. But remember, why do we call it informal negotiation? Because it is for lower amount of things. Lower amount means 1 dress, 2 dress, 10, 20. We're not talking about 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. Okay. And the amount that you have to reduce is in rupees, in figures. It is not by percentage, or it's not a huger amount. Okay. So that becomes more informal. Informal negotiations takes place most of the time for personal usages. Right? Now, what is formal? A formal negotiation usually happens on the organizational level, right? Let's say you are supposed to purchase something for your organization and you bargain with the dealer to reduce the quoted price by 5,000, 10,000, or as I said, like things which happen in square feet. Let's say I don't ask the person to reduce 1 lakh rupees, but I ask him or her to reduce it in the square feet. That is more beneficial. If you see 1 lakh rupees, he or she can reduce easily, but per square feet, if you ask the person to reduce 1,000, 2,000, it will give you more benefit, right? Actually, when formal negotiations take place, there is a, remember, every time I have been telling, when it is formal, it will have a structure. So there is a 5-step structure for a formal negotiation. Most of the time, formal negotiations are made so that you can achieve the goal. In case of informal negotiation, you sometimes don't buy the dress. The person is very stubborn and says, no, I'll not reduce a single rupee and my quality is different from everything in the market. You search the market, I have the lowest price whatsoever. So you might not buy it. You might buy it from another shopkeeper following the same procedure. Usually in formal negotiations, people see to it that the deal is done, right? So they see to it maximum of the time that the deal is done. We have a reconnecting question. Is the statement true or false? The aim of a negotiation is to explore the situation to find a solution that is acceptable to both the parties. What do you think? Is the statement true or false? Excellent. Your answer is absolutely correct. You have to come to a common understanding between both the parties. That is what is the actual aim of negotiation. Now, there are 6 steps. As I said, remember, whenever it is something formal which is related to workplace, you'll have a structure. So, what are the 6 steps of negotiation? Mark, this is an important question from the exam point of view. So how many, if it is a MCQ, it could be asked, how many steps does negotiation have? When you are negotiating with the company, dash steps are followed by you. If it is a big exam where you write the whole question, it could be discuss the 6 steps of negotiation. Or to make it a little more twisted or to make it a little more hard, they may ask, discuss the steps of negotiation. They don't mention the number of steps, right? To make it a little challenging for you to answer it. And sometimes we remember with the number that they're saying 6 steps, so are we missing something? I've just written 5 steps, where is the 6th one? So to make it a little more challenging, they might remove the number 6 and say elaborate on the steps of negotiation, discuss the steps of negotiation. So what are the steps of negotiation? Or discuss the steps of negotiation with appropriate examples, right? So which are the steps? What is the structure? Please mark this as an important question wherever you are marking examples for our subject. So steps of negotiation, or the 6 steps for negotiation. So which are the steps? Here, remember, you cannot change the chronology because they are, if you see the title, it is called the steps of negotiation. So it's one by one step at a time. So step number 1 is getting to know each other. Step 2, statement of goals and objectives. Step 3, starting the process. Step 4, expressions of disagreement and conflict. See, if when you are doing negotiation, not necessarily people will just say yes to what you say, right? So that's why disagreement and conflict. Step number 5, reassessment and compromise. And step number 6, agreement in principle or settlement, coming to a close. Remember, wherever it is formal, the aim of any formal situation is coming to a common agreement, closing the deal. Okay, let's see each step in detail now. So getting to know one another. Here, listening plays a very important role. Now, I'll give you a very simple example. If you have been here, if there is somebody in your family who runs a business, okay, you'll always have some people in the family whom you consider to be very smart. Very smart in the sense, be it any problem, they will find, like when you have only two options, option 1 and 2, there'll be a few people in the family who will also find out an option number 3. Right? You'll see, you will always remember that person when you are deep down in trouble. You're like, had this person been contacted, will find some solution. How do they get that solution? They get the solution by listening. Right? They'll listen to the other party, they'll observe the other party. Let's say, Ahmedabad is one of the examples which I can give, and Surat as well, where negotiations and bargainings take place a lot. Okay, and they want to seal the deal, so they'll do a nice bargaining with you. And if you have some family in these places, I know other places might be bargaining, but these are the two places which are famously known for bargaining and negotiation. Even in the smallest of the things, let's say if you are going to shop for somebody's wedding, these are the places where people prefer to do shopping. See, I'm not trying to move out the other options, but these are the places where you try to do shopping, you find good variety, and you can also negotiate and bargain, right? So you'll take somebody who's very known in these two cities. Why? They'll be able to bargain better. And then, you are surprised. You will think, I could have never bought it in this price. Look at this person. You look at the person with admiration. Why? My God, this person can buy anything. They can even bargain with the prime minister or even the government. You have that admiration in your heart. How do they do it? Are they born with it? No. As I said, it is a skill. So the very first step is you try to know. So what do you try to know? You try to know how the person thinks, what kind of thinking line the person has, what kind of words the person is using. You can make, or you can think how much this person will reduce, or what amount can this person be pulled towards by listening to the way the person reacts, listening to the way the person talks about things, and trying to learn from your observation. Now, a good way of beginning would be having a friendly talk, but yet little professional. That's the thumb rule. Thumb rule means, see, without your thumb, I know there are talents who do not have thumbs and they write, but your thumb is actually one of the major parts of the hand which helps you to write, to count money. I know there are counting machines, but by thumb rule, I mean to say it is one of the major things which helps you work forward. Right? So one of the beginning thumb rules is you have to be a little friendly but professional at the same time. Now what happens here? Let me give a live example. You might be hearing that universities have signed memorandums of understanding, MOUs, right? Or maybe say university has signed a deal with a particular company to give services in the university for a particular duration. Does the university directly hire the person? No. There's a process that takes place. So what is the process? The process that takes place is you try to know the person. How do you know? You talk. Okay, what kind of facilities? Hi, we read about it in our school, or we read about it in the newspaper, or we heard about it from this place, that place. Now, a little platform building that happens. Now, you will see how much interest the company is taking when you talk. Okay, they are very keen. They'll try to show you things. From that, you will observe. From that observations, you will come to know, are they interested in doing business with you? Let me take an everyday example. When you go to the vegetable market, Okay, you look at one vegetable, you ask for the price, then you move on to the next vendor to ask for the price. What will the person say? Say, if you don't want to buy, you taste, na. It is very nice. I guarantee you will not buy from anybody else. And that's how they try to start the bargaining process. So how much do you want to buy? Arey, for 250 grams, I'll not reduce the price. You want to buy 500 grams, 1 kg? Arey, listen, this is how the vendor will talk. So that's actually trying to know each other. Is the potential customer interested in buying the vegetable, or is just asking the price? And that's a simple example from everyday life. That the same thing that happens at workplace as well. You try to know each other. So how many softwares do we have, and what are your plans, and simple things. Step 2, statement of goals and objectives. The objective should be clear. Now, what are you actually interested in? You cannot buy the entire vegetable market. No, you have in mind, I want to buy 5 vegetables. I want to buy 5 fruits. Similarly, when I am dealing with an organization, I want to buy some hardware, some software. There are X number of softwares and hardwares available. So what is my outlook? So do I want to buy, let's say I want to buy computers. Do I want to buy desktops, laptops? Do I want to buy of a particular company? Do I want to buy of particular configuration, etc.? Right? Whatever you want to buy or you wish to buy, you have it in mind. So you have to tell them. Sometimes what's happening is here, when you try to give a statement of goals and objectives, not only you, but also the person with whom you are dealing would have options in mind. Let's say you want to buy antivirus. Right? There are many companies. Each company has its own price. Now you have a range that you have already told the dealer. I want to buy in this range. Not too much, not too less. This is the budget that I carry. Now see, the budget that you make is an approximation of amount that you wish to pay. Now this approximation of amount can differ by few numbers. Let's say if your budget is 5,000, but you see that the services are good, you may get ready to pay up till 6,000 or 7,000 at the maximum, but you will not get ready to pay 10,000. So what will happen is, when you give an objective statement or your goal, even the person who's going to deal with you has options in mind. He will say, okay, fine. Option 1, let's say it's an antivirus, so Quick Heal. Option 2, ESET. Option 3, the next option, 4, 5, 6, whatever. So this would come in the person's budget. He'll never tell you an option that goes out of the budget, right? Moreover, when you give an statement or an objective, there is more clarity, which actually turns out to be a little positive. Why? If you do not give a goal statement and the person shows you some products, it is out of your budget, and then you are like, okay, it's not in my budget. Now what will happen is, at this time, the other person in his mind, that there would be a thought that is running, that he should have told his budget first. No, why did he waste my time? Now it will create a very negative impression. The person will then try, even if he tries to do business with you, he will lose his interest. Why? That this person is not decisive about things. He wants this many facilities, but budget is too low. Let's say if I want to buy an antivirus for a personal use, my budget will be low. But if I want to buy it for an institute, I cannot have 5,000 as my budget. Right? So clarity comes when you give a statement of goals and your objectives to the other person. It will build trust and create a positive environment. Why? You will not be wasting time over products which are over the budget. You will be discussing things which are little over the budget or within the budget. Now then you start the process. Now what happens is, after the person starts telling you that these are the products available or options available in and around your budget, approximately here and there, then the process starts. The actual process starts now. These 2 steps were the pre-part of the process. Now the actual process starts is, you will tell, okay, fine, what is the difference between these 2? There is little price difference. Okay, what if I take this much? First I was thinking of taking 100, but if you are trying to reduce some. So a skilled negotiator will study all the issues. You don't just start speaking that I want to negotiate. That's why listening is important. Why? You listen to things which have been described to you. Some of us would also have a habit of noting down the things. Right? So if, let's say, he's quoting for 100 he's quoting this much. Now if he reduces it by 10%, as I said, it works in percentages or per piece. If he reduces 500 rupees per piece, what if I buy 200 and he, instead of 500 rupees discount, he gives me 700 discount? All that issues, all that perspectives you have to think if you are a skilled, when you are a negotiator. And then you don't dump all the issues together. You will say, like, for 100 how much discount will you give? So the person will say, like, sir, per piece I can give you 200 rupees discount. Then you will say, what if I buy, instead of 100, I'm thinking, what if I buy 200 pieces? I also have one other branch in Morbi, let's say. Instead of buying from Morbi, why don't you supply something there? Will you waiver the transportation? Or instead of 200, can you reduce 500 per piece? Then what will we do about transportation? Are you going to charge delivery? One issue at a time. You cannot dump all the issues together. One issue is resolved, you come to a conclusion, then you come to the next issue. That's how you work. Next, expressions of disagreement and conflict. Remember, directly when you are dealing, the person will never agree directly that, okay, sir, you said 500, I'll give you 500 discount. No. What do you have to do? The person will say, no, 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 sir, the costing is too much. The expenses that happened this day, the petroleum prices are raising, this, that, whatever. So you disagree, but you do not fight. Remember, when I say a conflict occurs, it means that you are not coming to a common agreement. Here, when we say conflict, it means that you are not coming to a common agreement, right? So you try to find, okay, not 500, so can you reduce 450? That person will say, not 1 rupee more than 350, right? So maybe you will say, okay, you don't deliver it, but let's say you delivered it to our Rajkot office, I'll make some arrangement. And then that person might be good, he'll say, okay, I will not deliver it within the week, but once a week I have my transportation traveling to Morbi, so that day I can do it, whatever. So whatever disagreements come, the very next step is you reassess it. Reassessments, you are very well aware of the reassessment word. Reassessment, you get your papers reassessed. No, that's a silent negotiation that you are doing. You are doing it at every step, right? That's a silent negotiation you are doing. You're very sure that you will get good marks, or whatever marks have been given, you'll get little more than that. So what do? You get it reassessed. So reassessment here means that you rethink about the steps. You rethink about how you can come to a common close. What will happen is one of the party will little drop down to compromising on things. Let's say maybe the price is compromised, maybe certain features are compromised, and you can see that the offer is good, so you try to restate or reframe things, and finally you agree. Now remember, because it is a workplace, you just don't agree orally, it is written. Negotiation does not happen in written form, negotiation happens in oral form. Remember, this is unit 3, technical communication. But we cannot leave behind other things. As I said, it will all work together. It is weaved into a complete sense when you work together. So after discussing orally, you write down the terms and conditions on paper. And you have it more clear idea of it, which reduces the danger of misunderstanding, which also brings clarity from both the sides. Right? You might have heard words like agreement is made. Now, my father made an agreement with company X, or your dad says today, our company signed an agreement. So, what is this agreement? This agreement is actually what terms and conditions you have come upon finally. So, that's the agreement in principle or the settlement stage. So, these are the steps of negotiation. Right. So, we have a statement. One needs to build an atmosphere of cooperation and mutual trust during negotiation. Is the statement true or false? Excellent. The statement is true. Because without trust and cooperation, you cannot run an organization. What are the basic negotiation strategies? There are three basic strategies. This is also an important question. They may ask short notes on each one, or they may ask a long question on the basic negotiation strategies. One strategy, you might have heard of the word win-win, win-lose, and lose-lose. Most of the time, what companies aim for is the win-win situation. So what is a win-win situation? See, from the word itself, in English, I told you whatever the title is will help you write further. So win-win means both the parties benefit at a point, right? Both have situation of benefit, and each of them feel win-win. That is, okay, I also profited, he also profited. That situation is termed as a win-win situation in negotiation. Win-lose. Now, what happens at this place? One party has to lose, or the one party cannot profit, and only one party profits is known as the win-lose situation. Now, here what happens is such kind of negotiation. In such kind of negotiation, the long-term relationships of two organizations are not that long-term. Why? Because every time one company has to let go of its profits. One company has to let go of its profits. So this situation might happen in initial stages of an organization that is growing. Now, how does this happen? This happens when you are stuck. You promise the company something, but then the price of the product raised. Let's say before the lockdown, you might have ordered some product. Okay, the company agreed at a certain particular rate. Now, after the lockdown, when the market opened again, the company had been in a situation where it was not able to do sales. Moreover, the new products that came, the same product, but a new consignment of the product that came has come with a raised price or a price raise. But now, because you have already agreed to a company, you cannot now redo the agreement. At times, you can redo. So, what will happen is you have to sell the product from price to price. You cannot raise it. You have to tell him, okay, this is the MRP, I cannot sell less than this. Okay, or this is what I have bought for the price. I know that things have changed over a time, so this is how it works. Right? So, and in this situation, what happens is the company that is buying will have a winning situation, but the company that is selling will have a losing situation. So that's where you have the win-lose situation. And the last one is a lose-lose situation, which we do not wish to have for any organization. It means both of the parties are in a very bad situation. Here, what will happen is it will not be profitable to anybody. It will be a loss to both the parties. Now, instead of lose-lose Okay, there was a technical glitch. Sorry for it. I'll just present the PPT. There's a reconnecting question that we have right now. Right, so the question is, dash outcomes occur when each side of a dispute feels that they have won. So is it the win-win situation, the win-lose situation, or the lose-lose situation? That's the reconnector. Excellent, quick answers and all correct answers. The win-win situation is when both the party feels that they have won. That's the answer to it. Now there are a few do's and don'ts of negotiation. The do's are communicate properly, respect the person. Remember, I said we are bargaining, we are negotiating, we are not supposed to quarrel and argue. Please try to see X number of solutions, X number of sources. Do not just see one solution to one problem. Be reliable and try to preserve the relationship that you have with the organization. And we have to collaborate and come to a mutual solution. Don't do not always go for the bigger share of the pie. By pie means I should have more profit, the other company should profit less. That should not be your mindset when you are negotiating. The mindset should be such that both the parties can come to some arguable situation where though you have a little more profit and though they have a little less profit, but it is profitable to both the parties. You have to think from both the sides. Then develop friendly and trusting relationship. Do not use confrontational language. Why you can't do this much? Do not use such kind of language. Instead, can't you drag down a little? See that the same statement which I'm making is little different language. Don't make concessions without getting something in return. Right? When they give a concession in the agreement, they might sign that, see, for the next 3 years you buy products from our company only. And try to settle it in some way, not only with money but with also services that you can charge for, that you can look into, and you'll have long-term relationships. Right? Do of how you can carry your business forward with the person. Plan the negotiation with the best alternative to the agreement that you are going to make. Right? Don't just make it your only option. As I said, negotiating each and every issue at the same time is also not advisable, and everything together also is not advisable, and everything one by one is not advisable. Okay, first you agree with the price, then you agree with the services, then you agree with this. You have to put it in priority wise. First the price, then the service. These are the things which I'm looking into. You have to tell the person, and do not keep changing it. Right? Okay, Pel, first you told us this much price, now you are telling this, so you can reduce still more. Don't do that. Don't keep on muddling. You keep a target fixed for yourself. Somewhere around that target you can come to an agreement. Try, as I said, it is a skill. There are many people who are skillful, many people in our family, in our social networking, we know that are very skillful. They find a third option. When you cannot see a third option, you only think there is option 1 and 2, that person will find out a third option. That's the creative aspect for that person. So look for that third option. So do we have any questions? This was all about negotiation skills. Do we have any questions? Excellent. So if we don't have questions, we can move on to our quiz. Okay, I'll share the link of the quiz with you. There you go. You have the quiz for today. You may start attempting your quiz now. Excellent work. I see almost 41 of you have already completed the quiz and submitted it. Excellent. Almost everyone has completed the quiz. Do not worry about the attendance part. The attendance has been taken. By the time you did your quiz, the attendance has been taken. Right. So, I hope you do not have any doubts for today's session. This was unit number 3, and the topic was negotiation skills. Right. So, I've already taken the attendance. Do not worry about that part. Fine, class. Thank you. Have a very nice day. Thank you.